Thanks to the Wood County Board of Education, several pieces of Vandevender Middle School will be living on in the community. At Parkersburg Catholic High School, you can find Vandevender's old bleachers now being used in their gym space. Prior to the donation of the bleachers, Catholic only had seating on one side of the gym. Not only can people in the community appreciate the history behind the bleachers, but the school says they can also fill the room with athletic supporters and for community events. Jason Ward, Catholic's athletic director, says the installation of the bleachers will enhance the experience for students, and the reaction from the community has been positive.
I think most were appreciative that they just weren't thrown in the, in the waste or in the dump. So at least a little piece of Vandevender gets to live on and still gets to be used. So yeah, everything we've heard has been very positive in that aspect.
Besides the bleachers being donated to Parkersburg Catholic High School, the Knights of Columbus in Parkersburg are using ceiling tiles from the old middle school in their current remodel. We'll have more about this story tonight at 6.